demand across the spectrum and price points, and this isn't limited to the premium cars where there's a lot of demand, or the kind of cheaper cars and the more affordable end of the spectrum. It really does flow through across all cars we offer.
All right, Rob, got to leave it there. Good to see you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, as competition grows among venture capital firms to invest in Europe, established firms here are increasingly looking at financing startups at ever earlier stages. One player with a track record in the field is Concept Ventures, which has just changed its name from RLC Ventures. Today it launches a £50 million fund to invest in startups at the so-called pre-seed stage, which is the earliest funding round, of which £30 million has come from the British Business Bank. Well, joining me now is the Chief Executive of Concept Ventures, Rhys Chowdhury. Rhys, welcome to you. But before we talk about anything else, why have you changed the name of the company?
It's a good question, Ian. Thank you for having me. The reason why is the name Concept kind of goes with the name in terms of where we invest at the concept stage, at the earliest stage of funding. So it really aligns with when we invest. This is the stage we start off at. So that's why we really changed the name. It really resonates with our brand.
Now, a lot of established US companies and European funds are now playing in this space. I'm intrigued that you think this is making life harder for founders.
Yes, I think there's a number of reasons why it's making life harder for founders, because at the very earliest stage, the pre-seed stage, typically when companies are first starting, raising under £1 million, there's a big gap in that ecosystem. Actually, in Europe, there's been a 50% decline from 2016 to around now in terms of funding. What we've seen is a lot of US funds come and set up their offices in London and staying a little bit later down the stage. So maybe a Series A investor when they've got a lot more traction, maybe $1 million or $2 million of revenue. So there's still this really big back, particularly in the UK, of when people first start up businesses and need some institutional funding to kind of get them to the next stage. And what we've seen in our own portfolio is when we've invested in companies, they're twice as likely to get a new funding round done than the average market.
And that's because some of these big US players, it's just a bit of option money, essentially. They're sticking it down there without really paying much attention to how the business is doing.
Exactly. I think these funds are typically, 500 million, £1 billion. And, often they will have an optionality check where they'll just put in a little bit of money. It's not their primary focus. Unlike us, we're just completely dedicated to the first 12 to 18 months of a business. And therefore, that's our specialism. And we're completely aligned with the founders that we invest in.
So you'll be typically looking to invest with this fund sums of what, £500,000 to £1 million per business?
Exactly. So I think our average will be around £600,000. We'll probably be investing in around 60 to 70 companies over the next 4 years. The idea is that we're going to be investing across the UK, not just in London, where there's a lot of funding goes at the moment. Around 56% of our current portfolio is based outside of London. So, we're really focused on being the UK's pre-seed fund.
And what sort of concepts will you be looking to back?
Yeah, so our mantra is we're going to look to invest in companies that change the way people work, play and learn. So the 3 areas could be anything from an ed tech business to a game studio in the UK to a business that is a productivity tool and changes the way people work in their workplace.
And there might be a few founders watching right now. What tips would you give them on how to pitch their idea to you if they were looking for funding?
I think at the earliest stage, it's really, really about the people and who they are. And I think that's what we really focus on Concept. We have our own kind of personality model, which kind of evaluates founders to see what their kind of traits are. So taking a lot of bias at that early stage process when there's not enough data. So I think for me, there's a number of things that founders really should look to get right. One is when they present to VCs, have a really simple message, pretend we're idiots, and just be very, very clear, have a really clear vision, understand where the business is going, being humble, ability to kind of take risks and be honest. I think those are three or four things that, the founders we've seen in our portfolio that have gone on to kind of sell their companies have always had. And there's a lot more, but I think keeping it simple is always a good trait.
All right, there's some good hints there. Rhys, good to see you this morning. Come and see us again. Thank you. Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We're going to have a look at how global markets are doing this Wednesday morning. It is such a busy day. Don't go away.
what we know is that, from these startling figures, is that swimming is clearly not a priority when it comes to Black communities. Similarly, with Asian communities, it's 78%. And in the same breath, kind of water safety isn't something that's prioritized at home. It's not part of the cultural conversation. We know that it's very important for children to see themselves in certain environments. And like Cornell was saying, there are very little Black and Asian swimmers who are at that elite level where young people can look up and think, okay, well, that's potentially somewhere that I want to explore. That's a space where I belong. But you kind of have to think, why would a young Black boy or Black girl decide to go into swimming where there is potentially one representative like Alice Deering, or go into football or netball where there are dozens and numbers of them? So, there are a number of different reasons. What we do know is that we know that swimming has been considered an inaccessible sport. It costs a lot more money to go into elite swimming compared to kind of other sports where if you progress through and advance through other sports like football, where you kind of get support and you kind of get shifted through academies, it's not really the case with swimming. Your parents have to put in more time and more money into the sport. And it contributes towards a lack of role models. There's also cultural reasons in terms of swimming caps that aren't eligible when it comes to competition that protects certain types of hair, as well as modest swimwear. So there are kind of an array of different reasons that kind of vary from accessibility to finances to cultural. And of course, there are stuff like myth busting as well. You've got a lot of Black people and white people and Asian people who believe that people who are Black have heavier bones, and that mentality has trickled down into the community and has, led to us consequently seeing like a smaller amount of Black people kind of deciding to get into swimming where there are a lack of role models. So there are a number of different reasons, really.
Well, the oil price has been trading higher again this morning amid expectations of a decline in US stockpiles when figures are published later today. A barrel of Brent crude currently changing hands at $104.84 a barrel. That is up just under 0.5% higher. On the equity markets, last night's falls on Wall Street were followed by mixed overnight trading in the Asia-Pacific region. There were gains in Tokyo, Mumbai and in Sydney, but a decline in Hong Kong. Shanghai was more or less unchanged. Well, in Europe, stocks have been trading largely to the upside so far this morning. Here's the current picture. All of the main continental European indices in positive territory. It's a really busy day for company results in Europe as well as the UK. Talking points include Deutsche Bank. Its shares are down 2.5% in Frankfurt after warning of a deteriorating economic outlook. But on the same index, Mercedes-Benz shares are up 2.5% on better than expected quarterly results. Well, here the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, up 0.2% right now, led by consumer and financial stocks. In terms of percentage gainers, the leading blue chip gainer this morning is the paper and packaging group Smurfit Kappa. The shares there up by nearly 6% right now on better than expected results. Other leading gainers are also businesses to have updated the market this morning. Lloyds Banking Group shares now ahead by nearly 4.5%, while Reckitt, its shares are up as well. On the downside, Rio Tinto is off by just under 3.5% right now. That is on news of a drop in half-year profits and the news of a cut in the dividends. Outside the FTSE, meanwhile, Wizz Air, the shares are up 7.5% right now. That is on the back of its quarterly results. On the foreign exchange markets, it's all eyes on the US Federal Reserve. It's expected to raise interest rates by 0.75% later on today. Doesn't seem to have hurt the pound, though, this morning. Sterling up by 1/3% against the greenback. Meanwhile, the euro, that's up by 1/4% against the greenback. Sterling very slightly ahead right now against the single currency. Well, joining me now is Rob Bergman. He's Senior Investment Manager at Brewin Dolphin. Rob, welcome to you. Stacks of company results out today. What's caught your eye?
Oh, they come thick and fast, haven't they? Lloyd's results were out, and I thought that was interesting. They beat expectations, unlike Deutsche Bank. Some warnings in there, though, about sort of the future, which I think is that was reflected too with Rio's, where I think Rio's results were good, but sales were down, the dividend was cut, and I think these are the kind of projections that now we're getting factored into commodity prices, where it's less about inflation and more about global growth. And that was reflected as well with the sort of IMF statement where they expressed concerns about the state of the global economy.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the results for now have been okay. And I think, some of these warning signs we're having, you wonder whether they're beginning to get factored into share prices, aren't they? We've had a poor first half, the worst first half of 50 years. But I think that's markets looking forward to this period to come, and that's being reflected, of course, in company results.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, Rob, anyone that's interested remotely in prospects for the UK economy should go through the Lloyd statement with a fine-tooth comb, because it's such a barometer of the UK economy. I was actually quite surprised. There've been a lot of rumblings around about the state of the economy. I didn't think the numbers were too bad, and certainly the outlook statement as well.
Yeah, but that's this is history, isn't it? It's dealing with the period. Partly there's been the kind of post-COVID release, but the kind of pressures that are around, particularly with an environment where inflation's running very hot. The Bank of England's monetary policy has to tighten to reflect that. And you only got to look at the States, I guess, where you've seen rates rise much more sharply than they have in the UK, or even Sweden, where rates have hit 3%, house prices have fallen by 6%, and the Swedish central bank is warning that house prices could fall by another 16%. So I think Lloyds has started to make provisions here just for. I guess if you've had a near-death experience, you're going to be a bit more prudent, aren't you, about the way that you make provisions?
Yeah, very.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so anyway.
Indeed, Rob. Now, you mentioned rates there. Obviously, the biggie today is the Federal Reserve. We're expecting 1/4%. I mean, if they did go higher than that and went for the full percentage point, I mean, markets, that would be a real shocker, wouldn't it?
It would. The feeling is probably they won't, but it's as much about the future direction as well, isn't it? Because we've had a series of rises, and they've been upping the tempo. We started with quarters, we've gone to halves, we're now at 3/4, and I think the Fed's statements really are that they're not so worried about Wall Street. They're more worried about what's going on in Main Street, and if unless and until they can see positive signs that inflation are coming down, I think they're going to keep going, which is not about today. You see, it's not about today. It's about next month and then the month after.
Indeed it is. We're always travelling and not arriving. Rob, good to see you as ever. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.
Thanks.
Still to come here on Ian King Live. Good spirits in Africa. Why the continent is becoming a growing hub for gin and vodka makers. Stay tuned.
This summer, July 29th to the 31st, God's chosen prophet is coming to London for a prophetic invasion that will catapult you to the next level of your life. At the Lighthouse Theatre, 254 through 270 Camberwell Road, London, SE50DP. Friday 29th, 5 p.m. Saturday 30th, 9 a.m. morning session and 5 p.m. evening session. And the finale on Sunday 31st from 5 p.m.
Yummy, there are some of you sitting here, you are going through certain things that was not your portion, but somebody's negligence brought that shame on you. I am here to speak to you that enough of the shame you are dealing with.
Experience the prophetic. Encounter the miraculous. Please call 07760-276-394 for more details.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th Annual Women's Conference Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon, Queenie, Ada Ahi, Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
This summer, July 29th to the 31st, God's chosen prophet is coming to London for a prophetic invasion that will catapult you to the next level of your life. At the Lighthouse Theatre, 254 through 270 Camberwell Road, London, SE50DP. Friday 29th, 5 p.m. Saturday 30th, 9 a.m. morning session and 5 p.m. evening session. And the finale on Sunday 31st from 5 p.m.
Yummy, there are some of you sitting here, you are going through certain things that was not your portion, but somebody's negligence brought that shame on you. I am here to speak to you that enough of the shame you are dealing with.
Experience the prophetic. Encounter the miraculous. Please call 07760-276-394 for more details.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Ministers, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie. Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Body, it's your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr Radio UK show. Okay, let me say a massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. Want to salute you all and welcome you to the Wednesday edition of the morning show. Let me say a special good morning to Fatai Kazim. First to be on the show this morning, and I salute you. Thank you very much. I hope you are doing very, very well. And let me say a special good morning to the team as well. Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Mr. Frank Davis, all working behind the scenes this morning. To Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer. Massive good morning to you, gentlemen. And to our presenters on Starr Radio UK, I salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Wednesday edition of the morning show. Yeah, I've been doing my best to bring you some collective selections of songs. And it's one of the ones that I got this morning. Cover of the Onaga. And let me say good morning to Adeyemo Olaichan. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Or wherever you are listening to us from, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. So from this time round till 12 o'clock, as a Wednesday edition of the morning show, I will be your captain. I am the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, so as you know that it is a Wednesday edition of the morning show, let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji, Mayo Ajirigene, Adeshola, As many of you, I salute each and every one of you. Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, man of God, good morning. And thank you very, very much. Bishop Michael Ayisi, good morning to you and to the family as well. Let me say morning to the apostle himself, brother HB in the house.
Everything is working for my sake.
Playing in the background something from the TNS.
Children of God. Children of God. Children of God.
But one thing I'll tell you for sure, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, it's making the headlines. Be rest assured, I'm going to touch on it. But let me say good morning to all of you in the Americas, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, namely Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, South Africa, Liberia. I salute each and every one of you. I love you to bits. Okay. But post your comments on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, whatever it is, and I promise you one thing for sure, that I'm gonna read it out.
Is it working? It's working. Let me hear you say, is it working? It's working. Is it working? It's working. Is it working?
Is the program working this morning? Someone say yes, it's working. Okay, if it's not working for you, let me know what I can do to make it work for you, or whatever it is. Well, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. Go on to look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. At 11 o'clock, we'll bring you updates from Nigeria. And I will go on from there. Look at other stories making the rounds across the globe. Exactly at 12 o'clock, we'll bring the curtains down for the first part of the program.
Everything is working for my sake.
So just stay tuned with me. Don't go away. Don't touch the dial. Well, the quote for today says, there are 4 skill sets you will need to navigate your way through to success. One is priority, the second problem, the third people, and the third principle.
Shout hallelujah to the Lamb of God.
Are you armed with that? If you are, I can tell you that definitely you'll be successful. If you are not, do your best. There's nothing too difficult. If you put your back into it, you'll be able to sort it out. Okay, now let's go on to the weather front. Now this afternoon, some patchy cloud and odd shower will develop, but there will still be bright intervals in between. A calm afternoon expected. Now this evening we'll see any last showers clear, leaving a dry night. There will be variable cloud cover, allowing for a few clear spells at times. Top prep over the temperature is going to be 21 degrees. The lower is going to be 15 degrees. Pollen level is going to be moderate. UV level moderate. Pollution low. Sunrise is going to be at 20. Sunset is going to be at 20:57, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:16 hours. Okay, it is Starr Radio UK. All right, let's move on to the travel updates. Okay, let's a quick commercial break and I'll bring you that Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. So keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes to where every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:49. So what is happening on your travels this morning? Let me tell you what is happening here in London, or the UK. Now, on the underground this morning, the Bakerloo District and Elizabeth line have all got Bakerloo line is partly suspended. District and Elizabeth line have all got minor delays. Now, London Overground has got a part suspension. No service between Barking, Riverside, Surrey Quays to New Cross, Kilburn High Road to Euston, Rumford to Upminster and Camden to Stratford due to strike action by Network Rail staff. A significantly reduced service is operating on the rest of the line. So please check before you leave. That aside, all the other underground lines, good service, DLR and London Tramlink, good service there. Now moving on to the major roads in London, I can tell you shortly. A13, A316, A4, Central London Red Route and North Circular A406 have all got closures. That aside, A10, A3 have got serious delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. If you are stuck in there, continue to listen to it, because as and when there are any changes, I promise you one thing for the show, I'll bring it to the fore. Keep your eyes on the roads, I'll keep you navigated. As you know, on the riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's got special service, all the others have got good service. And to the final segment of the National Rail, and as you know, because of the strike action, well, Avanti West Coast, C2C, Cheltenham Railways, Cross Country, East Midlands Railways, First Hull Trains, First TransPennine Express, Gatwick Express, Grand Central, Great Northern, Great Western Railway, Great Anglia, Heathrow Express, London North Eastern Railway, Mersey Rail, Northern Rail, Scott Rail, Southwestern Railway, Southeastern, Southern, Thameslink, Transport for Wales have all got special service. Apart from the Island Line and West Midlands trains. So let me say once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
This summer, July 29th to the 31st, God's chosen prophet is coming to London for a prophetic invasion that will catapult you to the next level of your life. At the Lighthouse Theatre, 254 through 270 Camberwell Road, London SE50DP. Friday 29th, 5 p.m. Saturday 30th, 9 a.m. morning session and 5 p.m. evening session. And the finale on Sunday 31st from 5 p.m.
Yummy, there are some of you sitting here, you are going through certain things that was not your portion, but somebody's negligence brought that shame on you. I am here to speak to you that enough of the shame you are dealing with.
Experience the prophetic. Encounter the miraculous. Please call 07760-276-394 for more details.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. Walex, let me say good morning to you. Walex Salam, good morning. It's a good morning, Starr Radio UK. Good morning, Walex Salam. I hope you are doing very well. Now, this morning or today, Yami is engaged somewhere, so he's not going to be making it to the studios, but he's posted some comments or some stories that I'm going to be looking at this morning. But tomorrow, God willing, he's going to be joining us live in the studios. Okay, so he's working behind the scenes this morning. Himself and Mr. Frank Davis all working behind the scenes, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Gaye, as well. But now, let's go global trotting. 10:53 the time. So, some of the headlines we're going to be looking at, some of the stories we're going to be looking at. Khan speaks on meeting Tinubu over Muslim ticket controversy. But the question is the election going to hold or not? Now, pro-Wike's governor give condition to support Atiku. So there's trouble in both places of the political divide. Atiku, Okowa, others meet with PDP senators, and then Wike won't work for Atiku, vows not to quit PDP as well. Well, how is that going to impact on the chances of Atiku winning the next election? INEC residents, commissioners, homeless, but this is by Chief Mike Ozekome. I'm going to bring you that story as well, because it's quite an interesting one. I mean, if their life is quite a stressful one, then automatically they are compromised, and therefore anybody gives them anything, they can do anything to do. But what do you think? Buhari 6 Senate nod on 4 reappointed nominees as directors of the CBN. We'll be looking into that. And the NLC strike fails in aviation as airline operates protest shutdown Ikeja. Okay, and Benue lawmaker Jacob Orban dumps APC. Well, there's going to be lots of dumping and lots of crossing of the carpets and joining others. But we'll be bringing you more on that front in the next few moments. But stay tuned, don't you go away. In other stories as well, EC as a pliant to Mahama has beaten double standards. And Nakumia says the former president John Dramani Mahama has been criticized for some comments against the Electoral Commission. The National Identification Authority cannot claim to have covered every Ghanaian, and Mr. Mahama, while reacting to the EC's intention to use the Ghana card as a source document for registering new voters, said it's relatively new feature of our national life and has its merits in the scheme of things. Well, we'll be looking into that in a moment. Now, if they decide, because we know, as some say, getting a birth set in Ghana or that part of the world, it's easy. You can get a birth set, you can change your name to whatever you want. You can just go and get all that. But now, if this national ID can streamline those things so that we get rid of all those, then what is wrong with that? But the question, right again, is has every Ghanaian got one of that? Okay, and how is it going to impact those who have not got it yet? Well, we have up to about another 3 years before the next elections. But 2 years before the next election? My apologies. But what do you think is going to happen there? You are the cause of unanimous 7 Cardman Mills Town statue. Well, we'll be looking at that. Why is he saying so? Because Statue Chikata has been one of the astound legal reps of the NDC, and he's been a astound member of the NDC. But what is happening there? We'll be bringing you more on that in a moment. In DRC, 15 people have been killed in 2 cities of eastern DRC amid anti-UN protests while they demonstrating against the UN. What have the UN done there? I'll bring you more on that from. Prosecutor in Lesotho drops charges against former Prime Minister Thabane. Well, remember the former Prime Minister is alleged to have conspired with somebody to murder his first wife, and saying that, well, prosecutors have dropped the charges. I'll bring you more on that front. Burkina's ousted leader Kampore apologizes to family of slain Pan-African icon. That's he's talking about who? Thomas Sankara. We'll be looking into all that in a moment. But it is all Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on to other parts of the world still. Prosecutors probe Trump role in January 6th report. Now we know that Trump has intention of rolling his sleeves to get involved with the election come 2024, but prosecutors are probing Trump's role in the January 6th report, and some of the evidence that have been put across is quite damning. But I don't know. Well, you can have anything to say about him, but maybe if he got the supporters or the team to support him, the legal team who have got a strong case, well, who knows what is going to happen. EU allows get out clause in Russian gas cut deal. We did look at that yesterday. Buzz Aldrin space jacket sells for sky high $2.8 million, and the Hungary Prime Minister's ally resigns over pure Nazi speech. A long-time advisor to the Hungarian Prime Minister resigns over his speech criticizing race mixing. We'll be looking into that. Now, China vows consequences of Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. What are they going to do there? The Chinese military says it will not sit idly by if the U.S. speaker visits the self-governing island. She can visit any country. She can visit any town, provided she's given the clearance to do so. So what? Well, do they think that she visiting there means that the U.S. is giving its full support to Taiwan to be an independent state, or has its own autonomy? At the moment they do, but well, it looks like China is saying that we are coming for you. But looking at what is happening in Ukraine, do you think it's advisable? Well, this and a lot more we're going to be looking at in the next few moments. But stay tuned, don't you go away. Now, in the UK front, well, Sunak supporters deny U-turn in row over VAT cut. And then McDonald's put up price of cheeseburger. Well, those of you who love your Macadis, well, the price is going up. Now, you know everything, the price of everything seems to be going up. But what do you think? And then the big story of the day is the winning of the the semi-final by the England women's team. Well, England cruised past Sweden to reach Euro 2022 final. Now, England reached their first major women's tournament final since 2009 in stunning fashion. This and a lot more we're going to be looking at, so don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's enjoy this song and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Brother, smile. My sister, smile. Hallelujah. Oh, Jesus.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio UK.
All right, TNS, let me hear you sing.
my Savior who is precious to me. And the first bit of the song says, smile, my brother, smile. Though the days might be long and darkness seem to be looming, there is someone who can put laughter in your mouth. Or there is somebody who has your back, as I say all the time. Okay, that is from the TNS, and it is Starr Radio UK, the Wednesday edition of the morning show. I'm Archie here, and it's now time for us to go to Nigeria to look at some of the stories making the rounds there. As I said, Mr. Laimi Kweki is not joining us live on the program. He's just working behind the scenes, and therefore has sent us all the stories that we're going to be looking at in the next few moments. So just bear with us whilst we bring you that. All right then, Starr Radio UK. Now, when it comes to some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria today, all right. Well, the Christian Association of Nigeria has denied meeting with the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, or any of his representatives over the Muslim ticket controversy. Earlier reports said that Tinubu's campaign organization spokesman Bayo Onanuga has said his principal is meeting with religious leaders and other relevant stakeholders to explain his choice of former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima as his running mate. Now, Onanuga said the Tinubu camp decided not to make the latest development public until some issues are finalized, adding that there was an arrangement not to have it publicized. He, however, disclosed that his principal would address the media when the consultation are done. Reacting to the claim, Adebayo Oladeji, spokesperson to the CAN, President Supo Ayokunle, stated that Tinubu has not reached out to the association over the Muslim ticket controversy. Oladeji added that such a meeting has not taken place with Tinubu or his representatives ahead of the 2023 presidential election. In a quote, he said, "I'm not sure anybody has reached out to CAN, at least not to my knowledge," he said. Now, also speaking, CAN's General Secretary Joseph Daramula said Tinubu has not met the CAN leadership, adding that the association could not be swayed in changing its stance on the controversial Muslim ticket. And it goes on further to say, "I don't know about that. I am in Abuja presently, and I can tell you that I have not seen or met anybody that looks like Tinubu in person," he said. The APC presidential candidate had on July 20 unveiled Senator Shettima as his running mate for the 2023 general election. Tinubu presented the former Borno State Governor to party leaders and members at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center in Abuja. He said Shettima's career in politics and beyond shows that he is eminently qualified not only to deliver what all-important electoral victory, but also to step into the shoes of the vice president. Now, some of the leaders of the ruling party that were present at the ceremony included the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu, National Secretary Senator Iola Missouri, and other members of the National Working Committee. Others present at the unveiling of Shettima and governors elected on the platform and some party chieftain. Well, now do you think that will bring about any difference at all? Because if they've met with him, with Tinubu, if the CAN, that is the Association of Christian of churches or Christian leaders, or that they may call themselves in Nigeria, that association, do you think there is if they are met by Tinubu, that will sway Christians to be voting for Tinubu? What do you think there? I want to have your take on that. Maybe you are listening to us and you think that, well, if it does so, reaching out to them to say that, well, it's not because we want to, just work without you or push you outside or marginalize you, but it's because we think that with our prospects, having a Muslim from the north, somebody from the north, that caliber, will be able to win the votes from there. And though default position, that Tinubu being a Muslim as well, he is going to be there to serve the nation or lead the nation as a father of the nation, not necessarily of Muslims or of the north, or towing the line that we seem to be seeing, where the Fulani headsmen go rampaging and everything, and there's nothing that seems to be going on pertaining to them. But what do you think? I want to know your take on that. Now, when it comes to the PDP, troubles there as well. Pro-Wike governors give condition to support Atiku. Well, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Republic Party, Atiku Abubakar, is expected to meet with governors loyal to Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike over the weekend on the crisis rocking the party. According to a source that spoke with Daily Independent, the governors had agreed to give Atiku's condition before supporting his presidential ambition. A member of Governor Wike's strategy team, who spoke on condition of anonymity on Tuesday, stated that the aggrieved governors have agreed to remain in the party. He said one of the conditions the governors will place before Atiku during their meeting is for him to serve for one term if he emerges president in 2023. Now, would that appease Nigerians, where he's going to be just there for one term? How old is Atiku? Now, other conditions to be tabled before the former vice president include sharing of political appointments and the rezoning of party offices, the sources said. Yet, yes, it is true, we will be meeting with a presidential candidate and we will table our conditions before him. Will they pushing for Atiku to go for only one term sway you to also vote for them? I want to know what you think about that. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Governor Wike has given us the go-ahead, and we believe we will achieve something positive in the end. One of the conditions is that he, Atiku, must agree to do just one term. Others include sharing a political appointment in the presidency. If our party wins, we are confident of winning, so we should discuss the sharing of appointments now. Another one has to do with a continual stay of the national chairman, Iyochia Ayu. The presidential candidate recently said he can only step down if he wins, while some of us believe that was not the agreement we had before the convention held in October last year. Hopefully, all this will be resolved during their meeting. We hope to see what happens on that front, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Now, when it comes to the election itself, are INEC residents, commissioners, homeless bats? This is a story that has been by a statement that has been made by Chief Mike Ozekome. It can also have the unintended consequence of self-immolation, which can self-destruct. It amounts, in my humble view, to saying that the RECs, who are constitutionally created across the 36 states of Nigeria simultaneously and indeed under the same sections with the INEC chairman and the 12 national commissioners that Okoye harped on, are no more than mere appendages to INEC's headquarters. And therefore, toothless bulldogs are amoebic bats that neither belong to the animal kingdom nor the bird kingdom. Now, it goes on further to say, I watch and listen very carefully to my good friend Chief Festus Okoye, INEC Cerebral Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, on his recent Channel television interview. I completely disagreed with his take. and analysis of the place and space of the resident electoral commissioners in the organogram and schemes of things concerning the Electoral Commission in Nigeria. His analysis, which literally dismissed the Rex with a wave of the hand in the most cavalier manner, if swallowed hook, line and sinker, has the dangerous effect of not only completely defanging RECs and rendering their electoral efforts at the grassroots state levels completely useless, but also of creating avoidable turmoil and schism within INEC itself as one homogeneous and independent family unit. Now, it can also have the unintended consequence of self-immolation, which can self-destruct. It amounts, in my humble view, to saying that Rex, who are constitutionally created across the 36 of Nigeria simultaneously, and indeed under the same section of the INEC chairman and then 12 national commissioner that Okoye harped on, are no more than mere appendages. Now he goes on, and that is his criticism of the INEC. Now, if he's saying so, do you think that election is going to hold at all? Do you think that election is going to hold at all? Because it looks like they've just become a ping pong ball where you just hit this way, hit that way, hit this way, hit that way, and they're moving bam, 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 because they're not going to make any decision. They don't belong to nowhere. Okay, but it's all Starr Radio UK. One final story from Nigeria, and we'll bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. But I promise you one thing for sure. Tomorrow, Lai Mikoike will be joining me, and we'll be bringing you details of all the other stories that you missed out on. Now, barely 2 months after the Tinubu campaign organization distanced itself from a viral document circulating on social media, the same material touted as the manifesto of the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate has started trending again on the internet. A Warren TCO Director of Media and Communication, Bayo Onanunga, has disclosed that what was being peddled online was a mere draft of suggestions on probable programs Tinubu could implement if elected in February 2023. So that means there's an alibi of truth in there. Now, titled My Vision for Nigeria, the fake 28-page manifesto prepared by former Deputy Governor of Lagos, Olufemi Pedro, and legal director of Tinubu's campaign organization, Babatunde Ogala, talked about improving security and creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs. It also highlights how Tinubu will transform Nigeria into an enviable country and one where there will be justice, peace, and prosperity for all with a robust economy. Can Tinubu do that? Why are they backstepping or when it comes to this issue? Well, barely 2 months after the Tinubu campaign organized distanced itself from that video, where documents, the same material is touted, and that's what it's saying. My vision for Nigeria, and they are saying that it is all fake. He said, it is not Tinubu's manifesto, but personal input by a group of friends. How it found its way into the media is what I don't know. If it becomes a manifesto when it's eventually put together and doesn't carry anybody's name but the candidate's imprint. So, if that is to be Tinubu's manifesto, would you now be convinced that you have to vote for him or go for the next election? Or as we say, Ododowa, still Yoruba nation, no going back? Do you think that's what's going to happen? Or the Biafrans thinking that we need to break away, the Saudis going its own way, everybody going their own way? If what Tinubu is saying, what is alleged to be his manifesto, is what is going to be, don't you think that maybe that's a good one in there? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick commercial break and we come back and I'll bring you the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. But Idani Abdullahi says, now, good morning, God bless Star Radio. You are doing well and God bless you and your family. You have the chance to talk with Koiki. Tell him to teach Yoruba language, Yoruba nation now. I think you guys have to teach me some Yoruba language so that when I come on, I can also speak some. All right? Yes. Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay tuned, and don't you go away.
All ladies, you are invited to our premier 13th annual Women's Conference Lady to Lady Global Conference 2022. Theme, Joy. Date, Saturday, 30th July. Doors open at 11 a.m. Venue, Fairview's Concert Halls, the Phoenix Theater, Croydon, CR91DG3, United Kingdom. Register on www.ladytoladyglobal.org. Music Minister, CLC Healing Voices. Simeon. Queenie. Ada Ahi.
Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God.
Conference speakers Reverend Betty King, Pastor Marjorie, Pastor Sandra.
I did come to Lady, and from that day onwards, my life has never been the same.
See you there.
This summer, July 29th to the 31st, God's chosen prophet is coming to London for a prophetic invasion that will catapult you to the next level of your life. At the Lighthouse Theatre, 254 through 270 Camberwell Road, London, SE50DP. Friday 29th, 5 p.m. Saturday 30th, 9 a.m. morning session and 5 p.m. evening session. And the finale on Sunday 31st from 5 p.m.
Yummy, there are some of you sitting here. You are going through certain things that was not your portion, but somebody's negligence brought that shame on you. I am here to speak to you that enough of the shame you are dealing with.
Experience the prophetic. Encounter the miraculous. Please call 07760-276-394 for more details.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, 11:23 the time. We've got about another 37 minutes to bring the program to a close. Don't you worry, I'll bring you some music. I promise you that. But let's just crack on because we finished the program at 12 o'clock. It's a Wednesday edition of the morning show. All right then. But tomorrow, this evening, there's not going to be Niger Voices. As I said, Mr. Laimi Koike is working behind the scenes, very busy trying to get some information that we need and that we're going to be bringing your way. So please, just bear with us. This evening, there's not going to be Niger Voices. But tomorrow, we'll be having Mr. Laimi Koike back on when he is going to be bringing you the updates from Nigeria. And God willing, next week, we'll be having him on the Niger Voices. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. All right, then. Now, let's move on to some other stories happening or making the rounds in other parts of the world as well. This is around in Ghana. Now, EC is a pliant too. Mahama exhibiting double standards, Nana Komia says. The former President John Mahama has been criticized for some comments against the Electoral Commission. Now, Mr. Mahama, while reacting to the EC's intention to use the Ghana card as a source document for registering new voters, said it's a relatively new feature of our national life and has its merits in the scheme of things. Now, at the moment, it's being brandished more as a political tool around which all manner of schemes is being fashioned towards election. There is a need to allow sufficient time for its full integration into our way of life before this kind of unhelpful exclusion of all other legitimately acquired, credible, and time-tested forms of identification is implemented. The National Identification Authority cannot claim to have covered every Ghanaian who should be registered or distributed all the cards printed to those who have been captured in their system. They have failed to distribute hundreds of thousands of cards to people who have registered until full and total coverage is achieved in the rollout of the Ghana card. The room must be made for those who are yet to be served to exercise their democratic rights of voting. They cannot be excluded from the voter register due to no fault of theirs. According to him, institutions like the EC have become pliant tools for the furtherance of the political ends of the New Patriotic Party and President Akufo-Addo. Now, they appear determined to ensure the disenfranchisement of sections of our population at all costs through a misguided insistence on the use of the Ghana card as the only source of identification for a voter card. How do you do this, knowing that the Ghana card is not available to everyone who should have one? In reaction to that, Nana Komia, however, expressed disappointment in former President John Mahama. Now, contributing to a panel discussion yesterday, he said, "I'm really disappointed in Mahama. If this what a former president should say. The Electoral Commission is a pliant too. His comment is in bad taste. You have already said the Electoral Commission is independent and that it can't influence electoral results. And so what has changed? Now, double standards are what he's exhibiting. In fact, the Electoral Commission is independent no matter who is in power." Really? Okay, you're not even showing respect to the state institution. You shouldn't be speaking like this. It doesn't help our democracy, he added. Now, my question here is, now, should a Ghana card be the only identification card that can be used to register new voters? Then who will suffer? Now, let me take a typical example because we know how things happen in the Volta region. Now, has everyone in the Volta region actually managed to register or been registered yet? Or been issued with the voters register? Or the border towns, let me put it that way, because they think that because people live on the border towns, there's an influx of foreigners, and therefore some might just come in and go register as Ghanaians. Meanwhile, in actual fact, they're not Ghanaians. But given the Ghana card as in the only identification card that can be used in this registration, do you think it's the right move at all? I want to know your take on that, because even before the game starts, we are saying that waiting that the referee is already biased. What do you think? Well, Starr Radio UK 1128. Now, you are the cause of a unanimous 7 Cadman Mills Towns Chachu. Now, Cadman Mills is the brother of the former president Jonathan Mills. Now, Dr. Cadman Mills, brother of the late President Atta Mills, has taken a subtle swipe at the Supreme Court, saying the recent streak of unanimous rulings by the court is aimed at popular lawyer Tatu Sikata. Now, according to the former economic advisor to the late president, he and the Atta Mills family had considered asking Mr. Chachu to join the legal team to stop former presidential spokesperson Koku Anyidoho from using the name Atta Mills for his institute. Oh gosh, it is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. In fact, Chachu, I thought of making a call to you to be part of the team, but I am told that your record with the current judiciary is not very good. He taunted him. Now he added, because of you, there is always the unanimous 7 who you may be a legal luminary, but please stay out of it. Now finally, we will not only just simply rely on the courts. I would like, therefore, to make an appeal to the court of public opinion, which I think is the only court worthwhile. Dr. Kadman also noted the Atta Institute, Tamil Institute, led by Mr. Anyidoho, is not authorized, sanctioned, and approved by the family. It is a state. Is it a state-run institute? Or is it one by the NDC, or maybe one by the Atta Mills family? Well, there's another story that seems to be making the round this morning, and that pertains to a video that's gone viral, and this time around, details emerge on why a police officer phased off in public. Some police officers phased off in public. The Ghana Police Service says it will trigger its internal disciplinary process to address a misunderstanding over police duties, which resulted in a heated verbal exchange between a junior police officer and a superior in public. The incident allegedly, occurred on the Echima Fuansi Road in the Ashanti region. A video of the argument. Oh, I think I need a cup of coffee. A video of the argument between Corporal Boache, an officer with the Armed Police Unit, and Superintendent Albert Kwanzaa, the Echima Fuansi District Commander, has subsequently gone viral on social media. Some news network reveals that misunderstanding started on the morning of Wednesday, July 20, at a spot between Yabi and Dida on the Echima Fuansi Road when Corporal Boache and some members of the FPU were conducting traffic checks. The sources said the district commander, who was driving on the stretch in his private vehicle, stopped and advised the men to move from the area of the road to avoid accident, but he was ignored. The sources said revealed that the commander drove off and returned minutes later in the official vehicle of the district headquarters together with the station officer and 2 other officers. In an ensuing verbal exchange captured on video, the district commander, Superintendent Kwanzaa, is seen asking Corporal Boache to get into the police vehicle, an order the junior officer declined. The commander later asked for his identity and other credentials, but Corporal Boache is seen mentioning his name and asking the commander to meet him at FPU. How dare you? You know, before I wrote my common entrance to go to secondary school, I went to a police school. I was in a private school. By that time, we were getting to the time where they wanted to introduce this junior secondary school stuff, and my parents didn't want that. They wanted us to go the same old way, write your common entrance, that's entry exam to the secondary school, and then move on. So we were taken to myself and my younger brother, and I went to the police depot primary school, and then to the what they call it, the middle school, where I wrote my common entrance and then left. Now, interestingly, you could see the discipline, because where the school was, we see them, we see the recruits, we see other senior officers, because the senior officers were living around that area, and we know the junior officers as well. And you can see how the discipline in there, my goodness. But we don't seem to be seeing that. So for a senior officer, commander, telling you that, come on, move, because where you guys are, it could cause an accident. It's accident prone. So leave that place and decide to, not to respect or to hearken to what the commander is saying, means that the discipline that we knew at the time in the police service is actually gone out of the window. Now, some people are asking the question, how dare a corporal challenges a commander? It's not that maybe we are in a war front where maybe enemies are coming and maybe the commander cannot see very well, it's not making the right decision, and he's saying that fire, and then you say no, hold on, let's wait, because we're looking at strategy. But this is a case where checking traffic offenses or checking, they go there to check whether documents pertaining to vehicles are the right ones, and he instructing you and you deciding to ignore it. That what gives this corporal that, somebody say, that impetus to be able to stand and say that, going to the point of saying that, well, meet me at FPU. This is commander continues. I say get on board. The corporal Boache said, don't worry. Now this is commander said, give me your number. That's the exchanges that went on. Now Corporal Boache said, my number, don't you? This is my name. I'm from FPU. District commander, your service number. That's what the district commander went on to say. Now Corporal Boache goes on to say, meet me at FPU. The district commander said, I should meet you at FPU. Corporal Boache, meet me there. You are not the one who brought me here. Our checks reveal that the FPU personnel generated this service message to the commander of the FPU, Superintendent Kingsley K. Kawodie. The senior officer got to their checkpoints and ordered all the cars to move and go, because they are not police officers, they are armed robbers. After that, the officers went and brought his men that they should disarm the corporal who was engaged with him, and his men failed to do so. So he himself attacked the junior officer and tore his uniform, they wrote. The next day, the Ashanti Regional Police Commander initiated investigations into this complaint against the district commander. Wow. So who is telling the truth there? But it's all involving how these officers are recruited. Because for somebody to say, get on board, come on, get in the car, leave that place, and he is saying, no, I'm not. It's what is your number? Now, if anything, give your number to him so that he can call and check. But the personnel from the regional CID and police Intelligence Professional Standards Bureau have been on the case at Afuase, visiting the various scenes with the district commander and other parties. There are unconfirmed reports that on the day of the incident, about 10:40 a.m., one Chief Inspector Ohene Karikari and 11 armed men from the FPU based in Kumasi stormed the Afuase District Police Headquarters and threatened to shoot the district commander if he dares harass any of his men again. Wow. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. That is how their arrogance offends me. But it's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on to some other stories. Let me quickly just check on Moses Olaniran. He says, Archie, to say wonders can never end in Africa. This is what we're talking about. Africa and her continent doesn't know how to rule their people. So it's a time for Ododoa Nation and Biafra now. Moses, thank you very much for that information. It is true. Well, the rule of law, when it's thrown out of the windows, we get all sorts doing all sorts. And somebody will say, then the vulnerable surface there. But this is Star Radio UK. Some other stories making the rounds on the African front. Well, it says the death toll following the protests in Eastern DRC this Tuesday, that was yesterday, rose to 15, according to a UN spokesperson and the Congolese government. 3 members of the MONUSCO mission and at least 12 protesters were killed in 2 cities in North Kivu province. Now, since Monday, demonstrators have been gathering in various cities of Eastern DRC, saying they want the UN's mission in the region to end and the peacekeepers to leave, claiming they haven't been able to counter armed groups. The MONUSCO has been here in DRC for over 20 years, but there's no peace in North Kivu, no peace in the east as well. And now, how can you explain the M23 rebel group has more powerful weapons than MONUSCO? Says Mogadishu Mohindu, a protester in Goma. The situation in Botembo, the region's third city, was chaotic on Tuesday afternoon, and activists were paralyzed. In the morning, hundreds of protesters had surrendered UN logistics base in Goma and attacked the mission's transit camp outside the city center. And according to journalists on the ground, Congolese security forces struggled to contain the crowd. A UN spokesperson said the situation was still tense and a backup will be sent. But it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Some more stories from the African front. Right, Raila Odinga has boycotted presidential debate, and that is quite worrying there, you know. So we have the other presidential aspirant who is standing there, but Raila's podium is empty. Okay. Now the story says one of Kenya's 2 leading presidential candidates, Raila Odinga, will not take part in an upcoming electoral debate. His campaign team said on Sunday, accusing his principal rival of trying to avoid certain topics such as corruption. Now, Odinga, 77, a former prime minister, and deputy president William Ruto, 55, are leading contenders in the August 9 presidential polls. 77 against 55. 22 years difference. My goodness. Well, but in a statement announcing Odinga will boycott Tuesday debate, his campaign spokesperson accused Ruto of trying to dodge discussions of key issues. Now, Ruto has demanded that the debate not focus on corruption, integrity, ethics, and governance, the key existential questions that Kenya face, Odinga spokesman said in the statement. Now, any debate devoid of these questions will be an insult to the intelligence of Kenyans. That is why we do not intend to share a national podium with a person who lacks basic decency, he added. Instead, Odinga plans to take part in a televised town hall meeting in an eastern neighborhood of the capital, Nairobi, with ordinary Kenyans, according to the statement. The organizers of the debate said they continue to engage all stakeholders, including the various presidential campaign teams. In accordance with the presidential debate guidelines, we have shared the thematics areas with all the candidates, and the moderators will endeavor to cover all the said topics within the set timeline, the statement said. The debate, scheduled for 6 hours, will still proceed on Tuesday, the organizers added. But a picture that which I come across showed his podium empty. Odinga's announcement follows a letter sent Thursday by Ruto's director of communication to the debate organizers. He said that he was ready to answer any questions and speak to any matter that arises during the debate, but added that his attendance was contingent on certain matters. Now, which matters are they talking about? We expect the moderators will allocate equal time to issues affecting Kenyans and equally allow candidates a fair opportunity to address them, the letter said. Now, to that end, we wish to know in advance the number of minutes that will be allocated to respective interventions, including but not restricted to governance and integrity, agriculture, healthcare, MSMEs, and manufacturing, housing, the digital economy, foreign policy, and so on and so forth. It continued. The debate organizers have insisted that the moderators will select the questions to be asked and shall not share the same with the candidates. They will not meet with any of the campaign teams or the candidates, they added in the statement. The sitting President Uhuru Kenyatta cannot run again and has endorsed Odinga over his deputy of 9 years after an acrimonious falling out. So, looking at that election, who do you think is going to do it? A 77-year-old man, a 55-year-old man? Phew! Ooh! But we'll see what happens on that front. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. A quarter to 12 the time. It's at 12 o'clock. We bring the curtains down for the end of the program. Yes, it's a Wednesday edition of the morning show. Of course. Next week we'll be taking to Holyrood in Scotland, where from next week every Wednesday we'll bring you that until the resumption of Parliament here in the South. Okay, so Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One more story and then we'll move on. And this pertains to Tunisia. Well, a new Tunisian constitution has been approved by 96.4% of participants in a referendum with 30.5% turnout. Now it says that the head of the Independent High Electoral Commission announced on Tuesday evening, Said rivals accused the electoral board controlled by Said of fraud and said his referendum held on Monday had failed. Now, most of Said's rivals called for a boycott, and while turnout was low, it was higher than the single figures many had expected. For some Tunisians, his moves sparked fears of a return to autocracy, but they were welcomed by others fed up with high inflation and unemployment, political corruption, and a system they felt had brought a few improvements. But a U.S. State Department said on Tuesday that it's noted concerns that the new constitution includes weakened checks and balances that could compromise protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms. On Monday, the Monday's vote came a year to the day after the president sacked the government and suspended parliament in a dramatic blow to the only democracy to have emerged from the 2011 Arab Spring uprisings. Well, it's all from Starr Radio UK. Now we have to move on into the other parts of the world quickly so that we can bring the program to a close. Well, Inani Abdullahi has posted, he said the Deputy Speaker for Nigeria, Mr. Biamila, is now in America for a lecture but abandoned the school in Nigeria. All of them are corrupt in the government. Inani, I can't agree with you more there. It's so true. And do they even care about citizens? I think they don't give a hoot about them. But moving on swiftly. Now, prosecutors are probing Trump's role in January 6th last year. Anthony Adeneji, good morning once again to you. The U.S. Justice Department is examining Donald Trump's action in connection with efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election, says U.S. media. The federal prosecutors have purportedly asked witnesses directly about the behavior of the former U.S. president. So far, they have chosen not to open a formal criminal investigation into Mr. Trump himself. Now, rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol on the 6th of January in an effort to overturn the presidential election defeat. No former U.S. president have ever been indicted for criminal conduct. Now, Mr. Trump has publicly praised those who attacked the building but denies any personal wrongdoing. The Justice Department already has a criminal investigation into what happened on the 6th of January. The reports that witnesses are being questioned about Mr. Trump's role does not mean that federal prosecutors will decide to pursue criminal charges against him. The investigation is separate to the high-profile televised congressional hearing that have taken place over the past few weeks on the same subject, which Mr. Trump has characterized as political witch hunt. Now, according to a report in the Washington Post, the federal prosecutors questioned witnesses before a grand jury about their conversation with Mr. Trump and his inner circle in the months leading to the 6th of January route. The witnesses were reportedly asked about instructions given by Mr. Trump in connection in an attempt to prevent President Joe Biden's election victory from being certified by the Congress. Some of those questions included senior members of former Vice President Mike Pence's staff. Multiple U.S. outlets report. Now, until now, Justice Department has refused to say whether or not it will weigh charges against Mr. Trump for any alleged role in trying to overturn his defeat in 2020 presidential election. When the department's top official, Attorney General Merrick Garland, was asked on Tuesday whether he was concerned about indicting a former president, he simply responded he intends to hold everyone accountable. Federal officials will prosecute anyone criminally responsible for interfering with the peaceful transfer of power from one administration to another, Mr. Garland said. So, is he going to be prosecuted? Whoops. We'll see what happens. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Hungary Prime Minister Viktor Orban, advisor Hegudus, has resigned over pure Nazi speech. A member of Viktor Orban's inner circle has resigned after the Hungarian Prime Minister spoke out against becoming people of mixed race. Now, Zsuzsa Hegedus, who has known nationalist Mr. Orban for 20 years, described the speech as pure Nazi text, according to Hungarian media. The International Auschwitz Committee of Holocaust Survivors called the speech stupid and dangerous. Now, Mr. Orban's spokesman said the media has misrepresented the comments. Really? The speech took place on Saturday in a region of Romania which has a large Hungarian community. In it, Mr. Orban said European people should be free to mix with one another, but that mixing with non-Europeans created a mixed race world. Wow. He goes on further to say, we are willing to mix with one another, but we do not want to become people of mixed race, he said. Mr. Orban's anti-migration views are well known, but for Ms. Hegedus, Saturday's speech crossed a line. I don't know how you didn't notice that the speech you delivered is a purely Nazi diatribe worthy of Joseph Goebbels, she wrote in a resignation letter, according to the Hungarian HVGU news website. Goebbels was the head of Adolf Hitler's propaganda ministry. Wow. Wow. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. And we say there is equality. We say, oh gosh, you want to be able to live in your own land where you are respected, and the way the leaders of the country are handling, or somebody's getting manhandling the economy and everything, the wealth of the country is one that we cannot write home about. And look at how. Can you just imagine if you're a black person in Hungary now? Can you just imagine if you're an Asian? Can you just imagine if you are what? A Jewish person? Well, maybe they are also Europeans, are they? But well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's now move on to the final segments of the program, since we seem to be running out of time. Now, a quick one from a statement that China has made. Now, Pelosi's visit Beijing vows consequences if U.S. politician travels to Ireland. What are they going to do to her? Now, U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi remote plan for a trip to Taiwan has infuriated China and left the White House with a serious geopolitical headache. How big a problem is this? China has warned of serious consequences if Mrs. Pelosi were to proceed with her visit. Now, second in line to the presidency after the vice president, Mrs. Pelosi will be the highest ranking U.S. politician to travel to the island since 1997. This rankles China, which seems self-ruled Taiwan as a breakaway province that must become part of the country. Beijing has not ruled out the possible use of a force to achieve this. Even the Biden administration has reportedly tried to dissuade the California Democrat from going. Do you think that's going to happen? Well. Quite an interesting one. But well, it is Starr Radio UK. One story from the UK front. A couple of them. A quick one. Well, from the banter that's going on in the Tory leadership. Now, supporters of Tory leadership contender Liz Truss have accused rival Rishi Sunak of performing a screeching U-turn by pledging to scrap VAT on energy bills if prices keep rising. Mr. Sunak, who has not promised any tax cuts during the contest so far, said the plan will help with living costs. Earlier this year, he opposed Labour's plan to end the 5% VAT rate on household gas and electricity bills. Mr. Sunak's team said he has been consistent in trying to help families. The race to become the next Conservative leader and the Prime Minister has turned into a bitter row over taxation. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Will Rishi be the first black person, or yes, Barney to be the Prime Minister of the UK? Can that happen? Well, now finally, now England reached the first major women's tournament final since 2009 in stunning fashion as they put 4 past Olympics finalist Sweden at the Euro 2022 in Sheffield. The Lioness, who extended their unbeaten run to 19 games under manager Sarina Wiegman, will play either Germany or France for the ultimate prize at Wembley on the 31st of July. That is this Sunday. It was a thrilling match from start to finish at Bramall Lane as Sweden piled on the pressure in the opening 25 minutes, only for England to dismantle them with ruthless finishing and a touch of class. Now, substitute Alicia Russo once again produced a moment of magic when her instinctive back heel made it 3-0 to England only 11 minutes after her introduction. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. We say congratulations to them, and I say once again, have a wonderful afternoon, have a wonderful day. I'll be coming back with you tomorrow with another edition of the morning show. But this afternoon there's going to be lots of music and less talk. Next week we'll be taking you to the Holyrood for what is happening in the Scottish Parliament as well, and some committee meetings. I promise you we're going to be bringing that. But for today, this is where we bring the program to a close. It's been me, Archie, but 3 Little Birds, Don't Worry About a Thing, a cover version of Bob Marley's song by 3B4 Joy. Enjoy it. When a song ends and you don't hear from me, that is been me, your one and only Archie. Moses says Africa are we are very immature to use military junta rule because they're doing things differently. The rules of true military, yes, because I was there before. Interesting, Moses. Thank you very, very much to you all. And until I come your way tomorrow, enjoy this song. Bye-bye for now.
for listening.